Hey y'all, Bitcoin's moving up today, looking really good, exciting, always good to see price going up. But wanted to do a quick video just to kind of look at the short term, where we're headed, where I think we might end up in the short term, and then look a little medium range just so we can start understanding how to manage our portfolio a little bit better. Now, as we look at the Bitcoin chart here, it's just a simple price chart with some moving averages, the 20-day, the 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day moving average, which today, Bitcoin, as you can see, the little blue line has now pierced the final two remaining averages. It's now operating again above those 20-day, and looks like the 50-day moving average, the 100 and the 200 are well below where we are in the price action. It almost looks like we just bounced off that 100-day moving average quite nicely. So moving forward, that could be a good indicator for us. Not perfect indicator, but something good to look at nonetheless. Good to see Bitcoin above 43,000. We really want to close the day above 43,000 and then hold that line. If we do, I believe we continue upward towards 44 or 45,000 in the short term. Now, speaking of short term, I want to look over here on X at Tropic. That's his username, and I've been following him for a while. He's been correct. I'm going to show you another analyst here shortly. Liquidity is key. Bitcoin analysis. Bitcoin surged to 42.2, providing liquidity for long positions. He obviously made this post before Bitcoin started really pumping today. Providing liquidity for long positions with neutral impulse. His second point, liquidity gap. The price is moving to fill the liquidity gap above 42K, indicating potential volatility. Approximately 659 million in liquidations occurred. So a lot of people shorting the market, thinking that we were going low 30s, are starting to get wiped out. The outlook is bullish. He says bullish momentum could trigger a $1 billion in short positions liquidated, potentially propelling the market upward. Usually we start seeing the billions in the shortings, in the short liquidations. We start to get what we call those short squeezes, which really propels the market upward. And he has this cool chart here of just kind of where we are and where the massive amount of liquidity that is like bids for support and resistance levels. And so we're starting to really flirt with getting out of that now that we're above 43K, which is really exciting. And you'll start to see a lot of the altcoins that are top performers, they'll start getting a lot of the rotation profits moved into them from the larger caps, and so you'll start seeing 5, 8, 9, 10% moves on your favorite blue chips and top performers here in this local market. Second post, real quick, you can't invest in crypto without looking over at the equities markets, and Mortensen Bach's been on the money for over a year. I've been following him. He's had some really sound information that he's providing, and subscribes to the melt up or the blow off top theory. So S&P, NASDAQ, etc., those are making all-time highs. The stock market's on just absolutely crushing it. He says most important chart going forward for potential local tops and local lows in the melt up. So while I acknowledge that we're stretched on major indices and are starting to see some bearish divergence, seasonality chart suggests we still have some juice left with a strong H1 of February and then a local top, followed by a small correction move in mid-March. This is what I've been kind of feeling, that we were going to have a strong end of January or sideways end of January, really, and then a move up in February, and then possibly a pullback in March. I really can't see much farther beyond that, to be completely honest. We do have the Bitcoin halving in April, and usually the euphoria moments happen typically, again, if history rhymes, about 4 to 6 months after the halving. So we should start just a really, really incredible grind upward, but we could see a really material setback in late February, early March, according to him and according to what I've been kind of pontificating. It's kind of how I'm preparing myself, if that makes any sense. Right side of the I'll show the picture in a minute. After the local low in March, another steep rally should begin. He says, as I've said many times, I expect the pullbacks to be short-lived as we progress into the parabolic run. So this is where you hear people, especially bulls, when we're in a bull market, to buy the dip. When you get these material pullbacks like we've had since, from the beginning, if you compare today to January 1st, we were at 48, 49K. We got pulled back all the way down to 40K. Actually 39, 38K is where we actually touched the local bottom. And so now we're pushing back up. We're at 43K again, buy the dip. Like, should have bought the dip. Seasonality charts shouldn't be treated as religion. I merely use them as a guide for adds and exits depending on your time horizon. Time horizon is everything. Every investor is different. I don't expect to exit any positions based on this, but I promise to keep you more updated on the historical patterns. Bitcoin somewhat follow the same historical patterns, so keep that in mind if you're a short-term trader. And then his picture here, you can kind of see that mid-February local top of the S&P, and then we drop off down to, we're going to lose a couple hundred points, I think, on the S&P is what he's saying. And then from that local top and then the local bottom, there's just this surge upward through May, then a little pullback, then up, a little pullback, then up through the summer. So could be a really exciting summer as we gear up towards that. I'm excited about it. One other fun chart that I like to look at, and I know this is kind of messy here, this is the crypto total market cap excluding the top 10, also known as others if you're looking at tradingview.com. It's called the others chart. So it's everybody except for the top 10 market cap of crypto. Now, if you look at this, you'll see that I have this blue line drawn from way back in history here, back in 2017, 2018, and just kind of touching the other all-time high here. Technically, this wasn't the all-time high. This was that fabricated all-time high by FTX's fiasco. We really kind of think this is the post-COVID all-time high back here. So you can manipulate this line one way or the other. I also have Fibonacci levels drawn. This is the total market cap of crypto that's been moving sideways virtually since June of 22. In this channel down here, we obviously broke out of that channel end of last quarter of 2023, and now we're trending above that. We just now, looks like we are bouncing off of this fib line right here, the orange one, the 0.38. The 1618 is kind of like, and if you haven't studied Fibonacci levels and all that good stuff, there's this, you need to read up on it, the golden ratio, all the math that this is based on. It's not magic, it's math. The 1618 is quite often, by traders at least, viewed as the line that prices return to. And if all it did was return to the 1618 or reach the 1618, we would be well above the previous all-time highs. Not double it, but well above it. But then sometimes during parabolic, euphoric moments with altcoins especially, we see that 2618. This is kind of through when we get to price, what they call price discovery area or region. And so if we did, the total 10 or the total others market cap would get up to about 870 billion, which would be significant since you're not counting the top 10. The top 10 have all the market cap. I mean, they have, it's 80-20 principle, right? Or 90-10 in this case. And then lastly, this region right here is just a loose loosely based region of where and when we might hit that. If this line, this blue trend line, and the 2618 were to overlap or have confluence, that's sometime in 2025. But in between now and then, we have so much opportunity, so much gain ahead of us. Like even to the 1618, if you had an index on the others, you'd make 184%. If you had an index up to this 2618, you'd make 335%. Now, that's an index on all crypto minus the top 10, which I'm not aware of it existing, but it's a pretty cool thing to check out. So hope this was helpful. This is just kind of a broad roadmap of where we're headed. Again, not meant to be financial advice, just meant to be something helpful and maybe help you with your profit-taking strategies, your accumulation opportunities, and ultimately growing that financial independence with crypto.